Lee, thanks again for coming in.
Good to see you.
Sorry about the results. Can't win them all.
Lucky.
A little tip, you've got to keep your hand on a goalkeeper, all right? So take that for the next time through. What was your favourite moment being a professional footballer? It's a kid's dream, isn't it? But is there one moment you could pick that you thought, wow?
I think scoring my first ever goal, really, to be honest, and obviously being a Villa fan, coming through the youth system, putting on that Villa shirt and obviously scoring in front of the whole end was just, I mean, it makes the hairs stand up on the back of my neck, you know, still speaking about it. You know, I didn't know what to do. I remember it was against Coventry and I scored and the ball came out the net and I kicked it back in just to make sure it was, it was one of them. And then I ran to the fans and I thought, do I jump in there? Or honestly, as a youngster, coming into the team and scoring in front of the team that I support was just a dream come true, it really was.
Who would you say was the hardest player you ever played against?
I always say Patrick Vieira. He was a man mountain as a footballer, and me, skinny wet through. You know, I just he used to tie the perm on top. Now I got rid of that. For some reason, he was just. I'd come up against him, and I just look. I mean, I'm talking about when Thierry Henry, they had a fantasy invincibles they were, but I just used to look at him and think, oh, I've got my work cut out here. I'm gonna have to try and get around him. Just couldn't get around him. Wow. He was just so good. His fitness, box to box, football knowledge. Absolutely amazing to come up against.
Class above.
Yeah.
Dressing room's always a very amazing place to be in, particularly as a footballer. Any jokers that spring to mind? That anyone was a big personality for you in the Villa change room?
I've come across quite a few. I mean, I was a little bit of a joker myself, to be honest, in the change room.
Practical joker?
Yeah, I like to mess about in the change room a little bit. I used to just mess about in the change room with a lot of the lads. I mean, I could go through a lot of players and you know, going back to the Daly and Atkinson days and Dean Saunders, them two were just the funniest. And I was only a youth team player at the time. I'd go in that change room and we would get ripped. I used to have like a perm on top and Dino would absolutely kill me for it. So
well, he had some hairstyles himself, to be fair.
Yeah, but mine was rascal, to be honest. So he'd make me stand up on the bench in the change room for I'd single my barnet out when I had a perm on top. I got rid of the perm straight away, to be honest.
Well, you soon learned,
I know.
Yeah. The culture and the lifestyle of a footballer when you played as to now, very, very different. Do you think it's changed a huge amount just from the small time that you've retired? Yeah,
I do, because you know, I look back, and obviously I came through the Villa youth system, and I came all the way through reserves, first team, and then played for England once. But
hey mate, you played once.
No, one cap wonder.
Better than me.
I'm in the history books for that.
Yeah.
I just think that, you know, we used to have to knock the doors to go in the change rooms, and you know, it was having that respect, clean the boots. So I remember John Fashion, who came to Villa, and this just reminds me so much of the old culture. And we had the old boot room, and he came in with Quasar boots.
Right.
Yeah, and the worst boots I've ever seen. I'm not saying Fash was a bad player, because he might do that martial arts on me.
Yeah, careful, mate.
But I remember him coming in, he went, "Who's my boot boy?" And I said, "Me, Fash," and I was only little skinny, curly hair. And he went, "Come here," took me off the boot room in this little room, shut the door, pitch black in there. And he whacked these big Quasar boots in my chest. He went, "These are my tools. Make sure they're right on a Saturday."
Right.
Walked out the door. Well, I've got these red Quasar boots, size 12s. I had to take them home, dry them on the heat. And my mum, "Smells of cat piss in here." And "Mum, I've got to dry Fash's boots." And it was being in that football environment as a kid, whereas I think now you're getting 15, 14-year-olds, even lower that. They're earning big money at the time now, and I think they get given too much too soon for me.
And it comes down to attitude of certain players are coming through. And on that, even when you make it, there's still players in the dressing room that you think, well, you're just being lazy now, aren't you?
You come across so many. I mean, some of the foreign boys didn't understand the English mentality of the game back then. And I recall Bosco Balaban, and they bought him for, I think it was about 8 million at the time.
Wow.
Record signing. And he was the laziest player I've ever seen. But there was players in the change room that would tell him. Whereas these days, I don't think that's in the change room. Whereas I look back at the likes of Gareth Southgate, who would tell you when he had to tell you. Even going back to Andy Townsend days, these boys used to think, "Oh, I need to be on my job." And even when I'd go out of a night out with the lads, Gareth I'd come in and go, "You smell of booze? Why are you going out for? It's a Wednesday, you've got a game Saturday." And it'd make you think, more of like, well, you know what, he's right. He's been there and done it.
Villa now, of course. John Terry's just gone to Aston Villa. Good move for the club?
I think so. I think Villa have lacked so much, going back to what we were just saying, the experience. I think they've missed it for so long. I think they haven't had any big players there that can point a finger, and I think JT going in there, for me, whether or not people say he's past it, I think his experience, I still watch him, he's still quality. I just think that they need a leader, and I think him going in there, I think he's a great signing for me, I really do.
If you were still at the club in the dressing room though, would you introduce him to your wife?
No, definitely not.
sorry JT. But you towards the tail end of your career, you still wanted to play, you still went and played in non-league, you played for Redditch and Tamworth. Yeah. Basically anybody, by sounds of it, was in like 3 mile radius of your house. Was that the philosophy?
Yeah, it was.
And you went to Indonesia as well?
Yeah.
So I managed in Singapore, so I know that side of the world.
Yeah, well...
completely different?
Unbelievable. I've never seen a standard of football like it in my life. It was horrific.
Yeah.
No grass. No grass on the pitch.
Yeah.
I'd go into the change rooms and they're putting holy water on my feet and
God.
Can you sign? I'm signing all the lads. It was an experience that I'm so glad I did, because a little story when I went over there, I was signing for a team in Sumatra,
right.
So I get to there and all these fans are waiting at the airport, as you can imagine, with Bandung FC like waving flags. I thought, I haven't signed for these. Gets there, the guy went, we've changed your team, you're signing for Bandung FC. I was like, so I've done all my research on where I'm living, and I end up going to Bandung. He went, it's a much better place, it's really, nice living and stuff. So, and we end up staying in Jakarta for 2 weeks, which was just amazing. But the football, terrible. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
That sounds like when Robinho signed for Manchester City and he signed for Man United, aren't I? No. That's it. Oh.
It was the same sort of thing.
So Lee, what's the guest bet of the week?
I'm going to go Lukaku. He's on absolute fire at the minute. Obviously scoring goals in his first 2 against Leicester this weekend, 23-10. My money's all over that.
Mate, I'm going to put some money on. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, cheers.